Breaking news, everybody. The MAGA nuts are losing their shit. Why? Here's why.
A copy of this is it. It's a more than 20-page order. We're going to read through this a little bit together. We want to start with the biggest takeaway. It happens on page 17 of Judge Scott McAfee's order, and if it's all right, I'm going to read it, and we can kind of work through it all together. This is the big part here. Judge McAfee writes, the court therefore concludes that the prosecution of this case cannot proceed until the state selects one of two options. The district attorney may choose to step aside along with the whole of her office and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment. Alternatively, this is option 2, Special Assistant District Attorney Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence, distracting from and potentially compromising, the judge says, the merits of this case. So the district attorney's office now has two options in front of them, and a pretty weighty choice before District Attorney Fani Willis.
Yeah, one or the other must go, but very significant that it allows the option for this case to stay in Fulton County, which is key for a lot of reasons. One, a jury pool would remain the same. Also, this is the office that has spent so long investigating this case, knows the ins and outs of it, also so well versed in racketeering cases, specifically, which not every jurisdiction is so well versed at. So that's big. Very big.
It's a particularly complex statute. Georgia's RICO statute in particular, even compared to the national statute, is exceedingly complex. This is also a case that started with 19 defendants. So the idea of this case being removed to a different district attorney's office raises a whole host of challenges, not the least of which is, imagine you're some other district attorney in DeKalb or Cobb or Gwinnett or wherever else, and you are tasked with taking on this endeavor. Just getting up to speed and understanding the nuances of it would be a Herculean task. And we can't get inside the head of District Attorney Fani Willis, but you've got to imagine that's going to weigh on her decision-making process, because those two options, Special Assistant District Attorney, the Special Prosecutor, Nathan Wade, can withdraw from the case, and the DA Fani Willis, and the rest of her office, according to Judge Scott McAfee, can move forward. Or the other option is that DA Willis steps aside. When she goes, her whole office is then removed from the case. And what happens here, and we can take a minute to break down a little bit of the order's language, what would happen in that scenario is the case would be sent up to what's called the prosecuting attorney's counsel. It's sort of an oversight and organizational body for every district attorney in the state, and then that organization would be responsible for finding a new home for this case. And it's important to underscore this point, once that happened, and it could take time to find another DA's office that is willing to take on this case and has the resources, they have total autonomy over it. So there's no guarantee in that scenario where the case goes somewhere else that the prosecution would remain intact as it at least originally began.
Yeah, let's talk.
Those are a lot of words to say, that Fani Willis gets to stay on the case, but Nathan Wade has got to go. It's her decision to make. If she doesn't want to get rid of Nathan Wade, then her and her entire team will go, and somebody else will have to pick up the case. And that could take time for another team to get up to speed to properly prosecute this case. What y'all think Fani gonna do? Yeah. She gonna tell Nathan Wade, hit the road, Jack. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at the decision. I would have bet that he was going to remove Fani Willis from the case entirely. When he came out and took away 3 of those charges, I said, oh yeah, he's going to boot her and her office from the case in its entirety and assign it to another prosecuting team. But yeah, she gets to stay. And I'm over there on Twitter scrolling through her hashtag and watching all of the MAGA nuts screaming, pissed off, upset, basically losing their shit. It's quite entertaining.